Catriel. That is so cool. Oh, we are unique beings. I'll tell you what.
Wait a minute, there's two of me? What
Yes.
the fudge is going on?
I'm telling you, Mars and Jemmy right here. Oy
Bro,
vey.
I
Double the
only
action.
logged in once. What the fudge?
Gemini trickster.
Like, no, seriously, like, how is that possible?
Dude. And it's funny, I can hear you, the echo background. Okay, I definitely have to get my speakers in.
Let me go turn. I don't think I closed the door. Give me a sec. I hurt my foot when I.
Oh my God, this is so strange. Freaking Catriel, dude. Leave it to you.
Hey, in style. Hang on, wait a minute. I can add Nathan to this call and we'll have 3 actual beings.
There you go. Nate. I know he doesn't like that, but I like to call him Nate Dog every now and again.
You called him what?
Nate Dog.
Nate Dog?
Yeah, it's a good nickname.
Never heard you call him that ever. I've heard Nate, but not Nate Dog.
I do it under my breath when you're not listening.
Oh. Got it.
Oh. All right.
I think he's trying to figure out how he feels about that.
He's okay with it when you're not around.
Good to know. Dude, your tooth is about to fall out.
Oh, him too, huh?
Oh, Snaggle.
Snaggers. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, let's see if I want to try. I'll just stay on my phone. I was gonna try it on my computer, but it takes too long.
What? We can have 4 people here? Oh God.
This is a strange reality.
It really is. It really is. Are we like we're definitely in a portal here.
I'm telling you, it's so strange. And how did you end up twice? Like it's
not a flipping clue.
Catriel's joining twice. I'm like, okay, there's that Mars and Jemmy. We could talk about that too. Like, let's talk about, because we're recording this while we're waiting for people to get on the call. And you and I really actually even had a chance to discuss it because I've kind of been sleeping most of the day on and off. Our hours have been different when we've been circulating the cosmos. But how did you come away with that eclipse? Are you still feeling the remnants of it? Like I know you're here visiting me in Kentucky, which is kind of cool. Just so you guys know that Catriel is downstairs and we're at Sarah. Okay, this is so funny. We're at Sarah Ellen's place, who she's in Florida, and Catriel is visiting from Florida here, me, Kentucky, while I'm house sitting for Sarah Ellen. So, yeah, that's where we're all at right now.
Be on the call today.
Yeah, she's on a boat with Alan. So, hi guys.
Hi.
And the last call, Rebecca wasn't able to make it because she just became a grandmother again. So I don't know if
Oh,
you guys knew that, but she has another star seed. And I think he or she was born. I'm not sure if I think it's a grand boy, a son, but I think he was born on the eclipse. So definitely eclipse star seed child. So congratulations to Rebecca.
right. Agents, Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. So how have you been feeling this? How was it for you? And what's going on in your world since that event?
So better now. Last week, it was a shit show, more so a shift show.
How so?
Just like all of these different energies. I mean, it started off with on my birthday going to get a psych evaluation and passing it with flying colors to let's see what the end of the week is. Oh my God, I can't handle my life right now. Thank God that happened after the psych eval.
You may not have passed it then, huh?
Right? But considering it was on my birthday and there's like a thing with on your birthday in the mazel is like you hold like all of this like energy of like luck and good fortune and that's the day you're supposed to actually give people blessings rather than them give them to you because you're at your highest potential from the mazel perspective. Ironically, yesterday was my Hebrew birthday and I didn't even say anything, but it just kind of was perfect, because I felt that, and but I feel like that allowed for some major energies to move because like what goes up must come down.
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt that truly last week. the infamous Scorpio all or nothing.
So did something come down and now it's going to go up, or did something?
I feel neutral.
How did that work? Neutral.
I feel like finally I'm in a space of like comfort and just neutrality, and because like on my birthday was flying high for maybe the next couple days, even during the full moon. I didn't feel the full moon as like, I felt it after and a wee bit before.
Like a hangover.
Yeah, something like that.
I just want to acknowledge Rebecca is on the call. Hey, Rebecca. Hi, beauty.
Hi, Rebecca. Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Hi. We're just talking about the remnants of the full moon, how we all experienced it. And Catriel was just going into a little bit of his experience. Catriel, when you feel complete, maybe you can pass the mic off to Rebecca and we can hear how her experience for the full moon was.
I feel complete.
Well, I think my full moon experience was another interesting, kind of euphoric. It was a lot of energy, and I didn't experience any headaches or anything like before. It was just kind of a high. It was good. Nothing out of the, well, I guess it is out of the ordinary for most people, but it was good. Yeah.
Was your second grandbaby born on the eclipse? I forgot if it was a male
November
or female.
6th. Male.
November. Male. What's his name?
Lucas.
Lucas.
Mazel tov.
Yes.
Congratulations, Lucas.
Yeah.
Scorpio baby. Watch out. Whoa.
Mhm. Yeah.
And everything was okay with the birth and everything, no problems, everything.
Everything was perfect. Yeah.
Awesome. Beautiful.
It was on the 6th and they came home on the 8th. So they're
oh,
doing
wow. Good. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yes. I'm blessed.
Oh,
How about you? How was your full moon?
I'm still kind of feeling hungover. Actually, I feel hungover with it just because there was so much reveals. Like that was also the day I left North Carolina, so
Oh.
it was kind of a whirlwind. I had to pack up all my stuff. All the things came into completion for me though. I
You're
need to
at
get.
Sarah Evans?
Yeah, I'm at Sarah's right now. Yeah, it's actually so is Patrielle.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, he flew in yesterday. He's here for a week. And yeah, we're playing here. We're just gonna create and play and eat and sleep and
Party.
Great. Yeah, party.
it's well, it's been nice actually just coming here. I feel like I haven't really been sleeping a lot, but I just been resting because
Mhm.
I was working a lot. And just being able to be here and just decompress and take hot baths. And Sarah Ellen, this is a very heaven on earth. You've been to Sarah Ellen, so you know what it's like.
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah, it's a bit of a sanctuary spot for both of us right now.
Yeah,
The
it really.
Scorpios,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, I mean, I could really feel it. Astrologers kept talking about how the Scorpio season, and if you're a fixed sign, which my mental realm is ruled by Aquarius, which is fixed. And so the signs you can really see that we're fixed, where I was stuck in either my thinking or belief, just had to come undone and get dislodged. And I think that Rebecca, some of that journey of what
Mhm.
was revealed.
Mhm.
And again, just really anchoring in the self-worth codes, just like again, looking in hindsight, going, wow, when you don't value yourself or you don't love yourself or you don't want that in, then you're going to experience life by default.
Yes.
And I'm just done living in default, like in
Me
default mode.
Mhm.
You know, there's this weird limbo period too, because I know one chapter had to close and end with that eclipse. And I know that another chapter is opening, but there's still the remnants, that sort of ickiness in between the realms that I'm experiencing. So yeah, I'm just trying to stay grounded with it all and not take it too seriously, because I feel like, my philosophy is no matter what color our skin is, no matter what ethnic background we come from, gender we identify with, it doesn't matter. We all literally have two things in common: polarity. As we all were born, like your beautiful grandson, and we will all pass away. We will all transition like that. Those two things are
Mhm.
guaranteed.
Yep.
And everything in between those two events is a story we tell about it.
Right.
And that's what Catrielle and I were actually talking about. It's like just learning to be better storytellers about our lives, about the things that have happened to us, the things that are happening. Like just having a very radically honest perspective, no matter what. And it doesn't matter who I offend, or I just get to be myself and be okay with that. That's how you get to find your tribe, is when you're truly yourself and not song and dancing it anymore. I don't know.
Yeah. And for so long, I was just on autopilot. I was just like, there's this fate. It's going to be what it is. I can't change anything. Boy, was I wrong. So it's that awakening, it's that realization that, yeah, we do have a say. Yeah, we can make things different. So that's fun.
When did that start anchoring in for you, that belief? Like, when did you start knowing that you were more powerful than you realized?
Probably in the last 2 years. I guess my encounter with Sarah Ellen I was like on the edge thinking, yeah, there's more to this. I am, Christ-like, or, have power. It's been subdued. We've been hammered down to think that we're not. So, I've known for years and years that I was different, not like anybody else, or not like anybody in my family. So kind of the black sheep, if you will, or the odd one. But probably in the last 2 years, I've really just developed, and I probably still don't know how much strength that I have, but I try to work on it every day.
How's your you said you were going into the Akashic records. Have you explored any more of that realm?
I do some meditations on it, and I have met some interesting giants. So yeah, it's been interesting.
Whoa, giants, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was, and I was in, meditation. You're in this state of almost dreamland, and you're thinking, am I really seeing this? Is this what I'm seeing? Or, but yeah, it's been interesting. I will keep doing it. Yeah.
That's supposedly like one of the things that have been hijacked, or we hijacked from ourselves, is our ability to imagine. Like that's where the whole magic is our ability to believe in the magic. Like you were talking about last week, Catriel, like you just want to release any thoughts that keep you in disbelief about how there is magic. And I say, if you're imagining it, then that's more real than what we're being projected into this holographic universe. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
It's like a deep knowing.
Mm-hmm.
As Dumbledore said, just because it's happening inside your head does not mean it's not real.
There you go.
Wasn't that what Joe Dispenza says? It says if you can imagine it on the inside of your head, then you can experience it on the outside, that the brain doesn't know the difference.
That's right.
That's what that I am presence is. It's like you have to imagine that you're already living it. I mean, I feel like that's what I've been kind of doing, is just like, all right, well, I am this digital nomad who's living on the road, who generates income by being herself, and it seems to be working out. I don't know how. I just things keep presenting themselves, and as long as I stay in the magic, it's like, well, what wondrous magical things can happen today? And I do ask that question, like, because I want to experience magic. I choose magic, and so I just have to be willing to look for it and see it. And I feel like that's one of the things that's been healing for me, because I was such a pessimist. Like I was a secret pessimist for so long. Like, oh, that shit doesn't work, or that doesn't whatever. And I realized, oh wow, that's inherited. Because even like the voice that I would hear speaking that I thought was my own voice was actually my dad's voice. So it's like sneaky. It's like, oh, I learned these beliefs. These are not even my beliefs. These are just some person's beliefs that, they shared them as truth, and I adopted it as truth. Like I bought into it. Like Catriel said, we paid good money for this movie that I don't even like. I'm like, this movie sucks. Can we get our money back? Like,
yes. I want to rewrite the script.
Yes. I'm like, okay, I don't like the character development. I don't like the scenery. Like, no. We need to switch some shit up around here.
Yes.
What's the backdrop you want today?
Yeah. And be willing to make space for it every day. Like I don't want to be attached to a label. Like, I feel like that's the transition point that I'm going through. I'm still in that kind of hungover phase. Like I know I'm in between a chrysalis. Like I'm morphing from one thing to another. And boy, I sure have been eating like I'm like a butterfly, get ready to change into something else, because that's what I do. I go through growth spurts, literally.
The mountain you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I notice a huge difference, especially when I'm in Jerusalem. Like there's like city on a hill, like literally is one of the names for Jerusalem. And I feel like I have to eat like double or even triple sometimes because of the amount of energy I'm moving.
Yeah. It's true.
Are you going, Catriel, are you going back to Jerusalem?
Yes, I pray they contact me soon.
Oh, you have to wait for an invitation?
Well, I have to wait for all of my documents to be approved and then say, hey, go book your flight.
Okay. And who
So-
approves documents?
Sorry?
Who approves your documents?
The Jewish agency.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been going through a series of, I think this is the third or fourth time they're checking my documents now. And I pray they're like, all right, good. You got everything.
Yeah. And how long will you stay, or do you know?
I mean, it's an indefinite type of, change. Like I don't have another space of where I'm going after this, essentially.
Okay.
People ask me, are you moving there forever? And I'm like, do you know what like forever looks like for any of us? Like, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go with the flow until I'm not there anymore. And if I'm there my whole life, awesome. But I'm sure there's traveling involved.
But he will be a Jewish citizen, right? Like you will have Jewish citizenship fully.
Israel. Yeah,
Israel.
Israeli. Yeah,
Okay.
So you'll be a dual citizen?
correct.
Wow.
Yeah, which is why, like it's taking extra, time, perceived time. uh,
But don't you say you get to qualify for all the benefits too? Like being a citizen, you get free healthcare.
yeah, so I'll have free healthcare for the first, like, I don't know if it's the first year or the first 3 years. I gotta look again. You get assistance with a thing called Arnona. It's like like kind of like your utilities type of stuff. You can get up from 70 to 90% off. You can also first for your first 8 months you get Eliab benefits. So you get paid to be there. And then after those, like, still need assistance with rent. There is something that you can sign up for to get assistance with rent, like a subsidy. So it's really nice. I don't know what that'll hold for me in the details. I pray that I won't even have to use any more of those benefits. That the financial abundance is just flowing and I can help other people. But yeah, it's a lot of, they really make it really beneficial to move to Israel, when you're Jewish. Baruch Hashem.
So you had to prove that you're Jewish, I guess?
Yes.
And there's a vetting process?
Yeah, so you have to prove you're Jewish, which I converted because they go by your mother.
Okay.
So even if you were born Jewish by your father, you still have to go through some type of conversion process, or you're with a particular type of movement, like the Reform movement only pays attention to either parent. And I don't know, I've never actually encountered someone who has been like born Jewish by their father and making Aliyah. So I don't know if they have to go through extra stuff or not. I know there's like a lot of different places out there helping people, with like all of this stuff, like helping people with their documents and things like that. And for me, I had Nefesh B'Nefesh helping me, which also allows me to get a free flight to Israel when I go.
Is that an organization?
Say that again?
Is that an organization that was helping you?
It is. It's a organization that was created so that it's an easier process for someone to make Aliyah, essentially. And you have rich people, in Israel and outside of Israel funding what Nefesh B'Nefesh is what it's called, so that more people can do this and take advantage of this process.
Well, that's really interesting. And what's the weather like in Israel?
That's interesting. So right now it's probably pretty cold. It's dry. So you want to drink like a lot of water. In the summertime, it's normally pretty hot, but it can be cooler at night. You don't have rain during the summer or anything like that. We actually have a prayer in Judaism when we say, we welcome the rain, and where we're like, okay, allow, for just the dew to be there. And so that prayer, when we say it, because it changes throughout the year, actually tells us the story of like what kind of weather is actually going on in that area of the world, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And last year we had like a really awesome phenomenon happen where the entirety of Jerusalem was covered in snow.
Oh, my.
What?
Yeah. I actually have a podcast on My Energy Speaks of that day. I put it up because I was in such amazement. Like, imagine like going to the Western Wall, like the hotel, and being like, oh my gosh, it's covered in snow. Like, like, whoa. And then everybody's building snowmen all around. Like, it was so cool. Oh, man.
Everybody's inner child got to play.
Seriously, we had a whole snow day. Everybody canceled everything. And we all went out to Gone Soccer, which is a really cool park. And we like went sledding and like all this stuff. It was so cool. Like, that does not happen very often. Let's just put it that way.
Aw, it's amazing.
But I feel like that's like, something that's showing like something shifting and changing in the universe. Like we see these miracles happen, and we know that like we're jumping frequencies. We're shifting things so big and so large, and the planetaries are matching that as well, that we're seeing the physical shifts and changes in our physical environment.
Yep.
So awesome.
I can feel that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm glad we had this conversation. I'm sorry I'm a little low energy today. My energy is just off. I was sleeping on and off, and because my sleeping patterns aren't regular. Like I'll go to sleep, fall asleep for like 1 a.m, and then wake up at like 5 or 6 a.m, wide awake. And then I'm up for several hours, and I'll take a nap in the afternoon, and I'm up again. And it's all purposeful. It's all, I'm just riding the waves of, of the emotions. And
is that bear energy?
It's a bear.
That's a little freaky.
And the time change, that's made a difference too.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's right. Arbitrary time change. We're just gonna change time because we can. It's like, come on. Well, Rebecca, I'll let you know when we're joining another board. So they say I got an email saying that within 48 hours, all of our information should be wiped clean and fresh. That's not the case. I'm trying to use that email address and that username, and I'm still stuck on that other board. So I'm going to have to reuse a whole nother email and a whole nother username.
Okay.
So just letting you know that that's part of the process. And once I do that, it's just been, I've needed to process it. Cause I'm like, man, now I've got to come up with a whole another email because I was using astrology activations. And so it's just like a great reset. I'm like, all right, I've got to use different language to invoke in this abundance. So I'm going to ask for it tonight for just clarity on what I need to use, the password, the username, just clear line to abundance. Just invoking it in.
Figure that out too.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, we're on the path though. We're aligned. I feel like everything that needed to happen. And I'm grateful for all of it. And now it's just, just resting and processing as much as we can, honoring the body. That's what I'm being told to do, is just honor the body. Yeah.
Amen.
All right, 4:33. Did anybody want to share anything energetically that they wanted to, that they found interesting from this week? Cottrell, did you say you were talking about portals? Didn't you just come off a call?
Oh, so my rabbi is amazing. We do a weekly call, and we're going over a book called God is Here. And one of the last chapters that we were reviewing has to do with the word makom. And makom literally means sacred space. And it's very appropriate for Scorpio season, since that sacred space is, from how I know it to be, the Scorpio energy, that zero energy. And so my rabbi was talking about makom and asking us, actually, I'm going to share this exercise with what she had said. She had us take a notebook out and allow us to kind of feel through what is a sacred space in our life. She did it two different ways. She did a visual, which was like, all right, where in your life do you find a sacred space? Like, what does that look like? For me, I shared, when I first went to Israel, I got to go out to the desert, and we went to the Bedouin area, which is like the natives on the land. And we were asked to not bring any technology, no lights, nothing. Go into the desert, pitch black at night, right? And not talk at all.
Oh.
Yeah, it was super impactful, because when I got out there, the only person that was allowed to talk was our guide. And our guide said, when you're ready, we're going to share one word of what you're feeling in this present moment. That really is the word of this experience. And so I sat and I felt through, I'm sitting on the ground, and I noticed that my eyes started to adjust. That, when you walk into a dark room in the daytime, and it's like you kind of, it's like you can see things, but it's a bit darker. That's how it started to be when I was in the desert. Like, the natural lights above me were like shining and allowing me to see almost everything that was there. And so I was like, this is really wild. I closed my eyes, and I felt like I started asking questions in my head, and I started to receive answers through the breath of the wind. And when he asked us for that word, the only word I could say was majestic. And I knew in that moment, that was one of the turning points, because that was home. It allowed me to find connection with my Judaism, and also with me as a being a star seed that was placed in this exact moment. I was a creation of Hashem, and I just got, kind of trickled down from the stars as I'm looking at this beautiful, majestic view. And so, like, it was absolutely incredible. And my rabbi went on to talk about like portals in Jerusalem and everything. But I kind of want to ask, what is your, sacred space? Like, what is that for you?
It's funny you said that because as I'm sitting here thinking about my sacred space, being on the road, I really don't have a sacred space. I mean, I guess my car is my sacred space. But yeah, as far as like, that's one thing I will notice about traveling is that I don't really have, although it is my inclination wherever I go, I have my crystals and everything organized, kind of set up in a couple different bags. And so, and I haven't set myself up here yet, but I will set myself up into like a sacred space upstairs with some of my favorite crystals and my sayings, and like I feel it instinctually to do that everywhere I go, to create something that is mine. And it usually involves greeting with crystals, and then like the word I've been writing around that I have is trust. So I'll put up my little trust sign. It's like, don't forget, you got to trust this process because it's so unknown where I'm at, where I'm going. But I just have to trust that I'm exactly where I need to be. So I do find the importance of setting up a sacred space. I feel like it's necessary just to like reground you, especially for me being, traveling as much and needing some sort of grounding.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah, I definitely could do better at that, like creating more of the grid right when I get to places. I feel like that will anchor me in sooner.
Man. Rebecca, what about you?
Mine is my garden, being outside in my space, connecting with Mother Gaia, hands in the dirt, just that energy. And up until yesterday, I was able to get out, and I still can. It's just colder, harder to dig. But yeah, that's probably my sacred space.
I love that. So it was super interesting with the second part of what she asked us to do is to draw our sacred space. And something through that was really interesting. I started to think through kind of like Carm, like how you did. Okay, I'm always moving, and I honestly came all the way to Kentucky because I'm not finding a sacred space right now. And I started to think through like, well, what is my sacred space? And I went to Jerusalem in my mind. And I would have some moments where it was just really, really intense energy when I would be at school. And I went to across the street, the park. There's this place. There's this like rock right by the road. It was like a little bit off the road, right? But it was like still in the park. It wasn't like way far into the park. I could see everything, everyone walking, the birds, people feeding the birds, these ravens. And so it was like a place of solace. And what I drew was this rock and little things that allowed me, like what the rock was, why it was sacred to me and why I was there. And so it was so interesting because like it was so freaking impactful for this to even go there in my mind of like, what does that look like? The next thing that my rabbi said, okay, it's great we did this exercise because it shows us like, when we're in this like moment where we're overwhelmed and we don't know where to go. Like what pops in. And then she said, as we were like reading the book, like at the end of the book, or at the end of this chapter, it says to write down in the Hebrew, and I can't remember what the Hebrew says, but that's okay. It says, how awesome is this place, on a note card? And to literally go to different places where it's not like the best sacred space, and we put that note card in it and make that place an awesome place, you know? And I'm like, whoa, that's impactful. That's what I needed in this exact moment in time. So like, I guess my question would be, and I haven't thought through this one, where would you put that note card?
I'm letting Rebecca go first on this one.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about that. Where would I put the note card? I don't know. Where did you put yours, Catriel?
I haven't done this yet, but in my mind, it just went to the family room that my dad and my mom are sleeping in right now.
Uh-huh.
Because I get so much anxiety around them, I would want to make that place awesome.
Yeah.
The place where it is the toughest for me to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because I guess I'm looking, I guess I'm on the journey of finding my sacred space. I keep pulling the card from the Work Your Light Oracle deck card that I'm from a place called Minnetonka or something. It's from one of the Palladius star systems, sort of the three, like the three Sirius stars. It's like one of those. And in this lore of the deck of cards, it's saying that this it's like a water world place, but it no longer exists. And it says if you have been wandering around the world feeling lost, it's because you basically maybe you lost your home planet, or like I'm like a floating star seed, that my planet's no longer around. So feeling this kind of like lost, like, I don't know exactly where my home, my roots are. And I don't even know, honestly, I've had like epiphanies or awarenesses that this might be my first incarnation in this reality timeline here. That's why I haven't been anchored here because I don't have roots in this reality. So I'm just learning to root, here. So it's okay that I don't have a root system quite yet, because I'm mastering the feeling universe, which is how do I want to feel every day. And what that feels like for me, it's not so much stability, because stability is kind of boring. I like a little of the unknown, I think when you get older, it's like, okay, I don't want so much unknown. I want to know at least, but I don't want that to have to be contingent on anything. Like I just like the knowing I want to graduate into is something that can never be taken away from you, because it's not tied into a dollar amount. It's not tied into the house you live in or the car you drive or any of that, it's yeah, it's a dance for sure. It's a dance in consciousness. Like, what is it? Ram Dass said, you have to release all of it so you can have it all. Got it? And that's been the part of this, like releasing all of it, like not having an attachment to even what my mind perceives as like having a home. I don't even want to be attached to that. I just want to enjoy where I'm at, wherever I'm at.
Connected to everything, attached to nothing.
Yes, just like that. Mm-hmm. And it's a mastery, because the mind wants to attach to shit. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, gosh, attachment. Jeez, it's such a thing. Mm-hmm. But it's the class that I feel like I'm taking. I'm like, I will get an A in this class, damn it.
You will master it. Of course.
It's my intention.
Mm-hmm.
What were we going to
Yeah.
say, Catriel?
No, I was gonna say I can really relate to that a lot. Like that's why I feel like this exercise was like kind of difficult for me. And the fact that I pick a rock, but I didn't say this other part, which was really funny. I went to go to that rock one day. Okay, the one place I freaking find that I'm like, oh, I can breathe, okay? And go there like, every lunch. I swear to you, the lady, okay, so this rock was not just a rock, it was an art piece that was placed in this and I've been wondering, I've been asking myself, I'm like, has this been here forever or was this placed here, And if you freak not, these group of women come over to where I'm at. I'm like, okay, I only come here like maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes a day. And these women are congregating around the rock that I'm literally like, it's holding me up, right? Like, why are they here? I started getting pissed in my head. And then like Shem put me in my place and was like, this woman literally is like, is there any way that I can come in here and take a picture of this rock? This is my art piece. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. What the fudge? And so I walked away, first a little perturbed, but secondly, like kind of like, wow, that was kind of remarkable. Like it keeps you like kind of in that same place of like connected to everything but attached to nothing.
To nothing.
I figured if I would have said that in the class, I probably would have sent the wrong message at first and blew the exercise, but
It's like that.
Shows that you have good taste because somebody else likes the rock as well.
I mean, they placed the rock there. Like,
So,
but yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Third rock from the sun. See, we're all just aliens.
Yeah.
I get what you mean, though. I get possessive like that too. Like if it's for some houses, it's like a silly human mind thing. It's like obviously everybody belongs to everybody, but
know.
I find the space and I get possessive. I'm like, it's mine. And the spirit's laughing at me, like, there you go, getting attached again. I'm like, shit. Okay, that's right, attachment. Right, I'm not attached to it.
It was just
enjoying it.
It was just so funny because you get those days where you feel completely overwhelmed. You just don't want to be with anybody, but you're trying to find the one thing that will help regulate you. and it was just like that was the timing. But like I just went and I took a walk, and it allowed me to move. It allowed me to move my energy, which was cool.
That's actually super important. I've noticed that to keep everything imbalanced, especially when you are in a more northern space where it gets cold and you're not as used to being in the cold, you still have to move. You got to change it up because if not, it gets stagnant quick. So, yeah,
and
keeping
still
things
go up.
moving. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, because I think all of us on this call, that's our sanctuary is really someplace in nature. Like I know for me, I have to be in nature. I don't care how nice it is on the inside, nature always calls to me.
yeah.
Yeah, it's important.
And when a Woodrow comes to meet you,
I know, baby Woodrow. They have a new little puppy, Rebecca, named Woodrow.
Oh.
Yeah, he's just like Molly. They're I forget the Pyrenees, some shepherd. I don't know what kind of. It's a big dog. It's like a shepherd dog. But he's like super loving and super sweet. And Molly doesn't really like him. She gets kind of snippy with him because he's like the grandma. She's kind of like, oh, this kid. But he is just like so loving and happy as can be. Yeah, he's a joy.
Right.
Oh man. Actually, you're right. It's super interesting to see their dynamic. Because like before I started to like feel into it when I was outside with Woodrow, I was like, this was Molly 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
you know, where I was just loving up on her and everything like that. And then I was like, it's interesting because when I saw her last night, she was in a mood. And Woodrow was there.
Yep. She doesn't like Woodrow. She's like, oh, this kid.
Gosh, he takes my food first. He
Yeah.
gets the pets first.
She's like, he's an annoying little brother. Jeez. So funny.
Oh man. Wow.
Well, this has been a really great call, guys. Thank you so
Thanks.
much for your time and sharing your energy, and rest when you can, work when you want to. Like this freedom thing, it's an interesting dance, the sovereignty codes. And I can't wait for a day where we can all maybe on the call together plan to meet and greet, where we can all meet somewhere. That'd be really
That'd be
fun.
great.
Next year in Jerusalem, as they say.
I'd go to Jerusalem to meet you. I've never been. Why not? Would you go to Israel, Rebecca? Would that
Of
be a place
course.
you'd visit? Yeah. Cool.
Mhm.
It's also
You
put
never
I
Ireland, that's for sure. Or Scotland, for
or
sure.
Scotland. I'm good with Scotland. I've never been there. They have castles like Harry Potter.
I want to go to a castle.
I do
Oh my
too.
gosh. Oh, that'd be so fun. We can all stay in a castle together. All right, castle buddies, I love you.
I love you.
I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Bye, Nathan.
Bye.
Bye, guys.